What is going on, everyone? This morning I am incredibly excited, genuinely excited to be reviewing my very first and second Jason Stout design knife. This is the Knives SNAPPYBOI designed by Jason Stout. The first one I got was the satin version. The second here is the fully bead blasted and tumbled version. Both beautiful options. I will always, however, prefer the satin design. So we'll stick with that for now, especially because it's going to allow me to show you the grinds a little bit clearer on video. Both knives come in at 7.25 inches. Scales are 4.25 and the blade is 3 inches long. They use M390 blade steel. You have almost a full-length hollow grind with that nice belt satin finish. This is a super aggressive clip point blade that I very much enjoy. The ergonomics are phenomenal. You get a solid 4-finger grip, nice thumb placement on the spine with that clip point. Just a great feeling overall. I've done a great deal of testing with this one. I've had it for a couple weeks, and I purposely wanted to test it out a bit longer because it is a hefty knife. It comes in at 4.8 ounces, and I got to tell you guys, carrying it in pocket, utilizing it every day, really doesn't feel that heavy, and I actually quite enjoy the heft of it. Especially because it does have an aggressive blade shape. It just feels like a kick-ass, badass knife, and that's exactly what it is. And just to, make it a bit more clear, I can tell you, we all know that custom knives are expensive. Man, this has me checking out Jason Stout's page every single day now, looking for the right opportunity, because the way he designed this knife is absolutely incredible. What I mean by that is this is a frame lock front flipper, right? So usually with a front flipper, you have one of two things happening. You either have a good bit of leverage because the blade is protruding quite a bit up here, or it's pitched out a little bit, or you have sometimes an unintentional front flipper just with great jimping and momentum and solid action. You can just snap it open. Here, I can actually even just slow roll this open without anything really protruding whatsoever because it is so dialed in. The design of this knife is absolutely phenomenal. He did such an incredible job with this. Just a really cool knife. Like I said, feels incredible in hand, and it is probably the most aptly named knife in my collection. When you say SNAPPYBOI, I know the video isn't going to do it justice, but no matter how I deploy it, the audio on deployment is phenomenal. Whether I use the front flipper, whether I snap it open with my thumb. I don't know if I'm going to be able to open it as a front flipper all 3 ways on this video just because of the angle, so sometimes it can be difficult. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. Yeah, the angle here, there's not enough room to really snap it open that way, but I promise you that if I wasn't doing this on video, there we go, it pops right open. The action is really smooth on this, guys. It's just a great feel. And last but not least, I will say the one sort of pain causing deployment is if I try to roll it back, because this is such a pronounced clip point. Let's see if I can do it without hurting myself here. See how it gets stopped by my knuckle? And that is a bit painful, but there we go. But that's also the angle of the video as well. It's not really conducive to opening this every way that you can, but I promise you the action is absolutely phenomenal. Super smooth, drops shut right into the pocket there, dead center. The lockup I think is about 40%, 35%. I've done a spine test. Maybe I'll do it when I get back from testing, but I have no issues with the lockup whatsoever. Can use my forefinger to snap it open. I am a lefty, so that does cause a bit of an issue. As a lefty, and I know I've said this in a lot of the earlier videos, I can either just put my finger on the clip or put it in the relief down here and just snap the knife open. But normally when I'm using this knife, I'm just using my thumb to deploy it or using it as a front flipper the way it was designed. But you have multiple deployments. It is actually pretty addictive, pretty fidgety for a hefty knife like this. But again, the ergonomics are so incredibly comfortable. Full 4-finger grip. Got a nice sort of plateau area over here that works just as well as a nice larger finger choil. I do want to say one thing before I get to the cutting. you'll see that in every one of my tests, when I cut rope on the table, I have a certain size rope. And I did the first 4 cuts like that, and then you're going to see that the rope that I use next is about 2.5 times the size of the normal rope. And this thing just, I mean, it just goes right through. This knife is solid. So let's go see it in action. I will be back in a minute, and we'll go from there. And we're back. Hopefully that did it justice. Just wanted to do a quick spine test so you guys can see that this is absolutely a solid design. No issue with the lockup whatsoever. Again, as you saw in the cutting and the testing, this is a great EDC. Just feels incredible in hand. This is, once again, the satin version. And we also have the fully blasted and tumbled version here. Both great options. If you guys don't have a Jason Stout design, this is a perfect way, like I found for myself, to get in, to get a knife of his in your hand. I am absolutely going to be looking for a custom from him, and definitely keeping my eye out for another production knife whenever that happens. But once again, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys found this helpful. Again, Jason Stout designed Reversible Snappy Boy. If you guys haven't already, please do subscribe and like. It really does mean a lot. And I will see you guys at the next one.